Hello friends, and welcome back to Food Forest Ecology. Today I'm going to continue with the 7-part series on the 7 layers. I'm going to combine layers number 5 and number 6 together in this one video. So let's start with number 5, that being the ground cover layer. And what you're seeing here is a native Florida ground cover called frog fruit. I've got it in this potted plant here. This happens to be a Simpson stopper on my patio here. As you can see, frog fruit makes a wonderful ground cover, and it attracts a lot of pollinators. Not so much this time of year. We're almost into December. Only the last 2 days left in November, and then we're into December. We had a little cold front last night come through, and we got some chill hours out of that. But it didn't get cold enough to freeze anything or make any frost. But still, the insect activity is greatly reduced now that everything's cooling down so much. But during the warmer months, this frog fruit would just be buzzing with activity. It's really great for pollinators. So the ground cover layer in a food forest, it's like your last chance to cover the ground with something green and living. And you want to do that if at all possible. You've got all the other 4 layers of the food forest combined with the ground cover layer. Those 5 layers, 5 different chances to cast some shade onto the ground. You want to try to do that. Plain mulch like this I've got here because it's my pathway leading back to my back porch and into my house. So I walk on this. However, the second ground cover I wanted to cover, which is sunshine mimosa. That's what this is, sunshine mimosa. I planted some in here, and it should, here's some on the other side. It should grow right on out and cover this path. Sunshine mimosa is a great native Florida ground cover again, like frog fruit. They're both native. Sunshine mimosa really grows best in a lot of full sunlight. The more sunlight it has, the thicker it will grow. Remains to be seen if it's going to be vigorous enough in this spot to cover my path with me walking on it every day. But certainly if it gets enough sunshine and a little bit of water, it's tough enough that you could walk on it a lot. So over the years, I expect it and the frog fruit to come out and cover my paths. This is only the 9th month of this food forest, so my pathways right now are still pretty much the original grass and weeds that were here when we started. But over time, I expect this grass to get replaced more and more by the sunshine mimosa and the frog fruit. There's another bit of sunshine mimosa just getting started over here, but got some sunshine on it right here. You can see it better. So those are 2 of the really excellent ground covers. Sunshine mimosa is a nitrogen fixing plant, so it associates with the bacteria that capture nitrogen gas from the air and fix it in the form of nitrate and nodules at the root. Another ground cover that does that, we don't have it here, but it's a really good one. It's called perennial peanut, and I highly recommend that ground cover as well. It's not actual peanut, which is usually grown as an annual plant, and you harvest obviously the underground peanuts. Perennial peanut grows as a perennial plant, and it's just a good nitrogen fixing perennial ground cover. Grows really well here in Florida, especially if you give it some sunshine and some water. I'm coming out here because I want to just cover that, just the natural grasses and weeds. These are all ground covers, really, the ones that are hugging the ground. There's one in particular, though, that I really like. It's right here, this clover-looking one. It's got these sort of seed pods like this, and this is all of it right in here. And this is called buffalo clover. It's a wild. If it's not native, it was introduced so long ago. It's naturalized now. It's basically just equivalent to a native ground cover. But all these ground covers are good, better than bare dirt. The thing about grasses like this, just wild grasses like this, they are associated with bacteria in their roots, and so they grow in a bacteria-dominated soil that's got a higher pH than the pH that you want for a forest, which needs to be pretty acidic. Okay, so over time, here with my food forest, I intend to convert all of these grasses eventually to a more fungally dominated and therefore lower pH soil, which is what trees and shrubs, woody trees and shrubs like. Okay, so that gives you the overview of the ground covers a little bit. Let's get into the vine layer. The vines are just the layer that's hard to put into any other category because they start out underground and with the roots, and then they grow up the trees and they grow all the way up to the top of the trees. The wild vines around here would be things like maypop passion fruit, which is a nice edible. The fruit's nice. Others are Virginia creeper, which we have some on the back fence, and all the leaves have fallen off. It looks like it was right over here in this area. All the leaves are gone. Another one is earleaf greenbrier, which the tender shoots of that are edible. A lot of passion fruits besides the native maypop passion fruit. Just the purple passion fruit is often grown down here in Florida. And then you've got the real common native vine being the muscadine grape. Over here on this fence line, it was really getting overgrown to the point where the grapes were just totally invading my garden, and so I cut those, and there's just the native grapes, so that's why all the leaves are brown. I'm just trying to control that. It's highly aggressive. I guess since it's native, it's not considered an invasive plant, but it's an aggressive plant for sure. And if you look around a lot of trees around North and Central Florida, you see that they are just completely covered with, there's a bunch of it right there with native muscadine grape. Way up at the top of that tree, that's mostly muscadine grape. And at times you'll see an entire large group of trees, like everything in my view, for example, sometimes could be completely covered with it. It kind of reminds me of kudzu that I've seen up in places like up in Georgia and Alabama. So anyway, that's about it for today's video. The ground covers and the vines. Just one quick thing to add. The earleaf greenbrier, a lot of people don't like it and they cut it out. It's got some nasty stickers or spines on it. They're really tough and they'll really cut you. So you got to be careful with it. But one great thing about that plant, besides the tender shoots being edible and pretty tasty, is that they produce berries, and they're one of the few plants that have ripe berries and way up high in the trees. So it's a great bird food. So they're really good for wildlife. They give the birds something to eat even in the coldest parts of winter. It doesn't get that cold here in Central Florida, but further north, up into North Florida, maybe up into the southeastern states, greenbrier is an excellent vine for wildlife because it provides those berries at the time of the year when the birds need them. Okay, that's it for those. Y'all take care now.